Hello and what is up everyone, thank you for tuning in. The game is starting soon. We're just enjoying some chill tunes. It is going to be Geekfam versus Mineski for game 1. I'll be covering the full day today. It's going to be TNC Fnatic after that. That should be an exciting game. But Geekfam, they're not bad. They made it way through the lower bracket here, made it to the playoffs. We'll see how it goes. We're starting very shortly, guys. Hope you guys are ready for this. Mineski versus Geekfam. Not the most exciting game, but we'll see what happens. Alright everyone, the game is starting right now. We are loading in as I speak. I'm gonna stop the music real quick here. This is gonna be Geekfam vs Mineski. I hope everyone is having a nice night or day. Today is about 2 p.m. If you're from Southeast Asia watching this, of course it's a Geekfam from Malaysia versus Mineski. Used to be a Filipino team. I don't know what you call them anymore. There's just the DC team. Of course, Mineski, I think the best team out of C right now. Probably, of course, have the odds here if you guys are betting. But Geekfam, they've taken games off Mineski in the past, but that's how they are as a team. I feel like they can one-off beat these Tier 1 C teams. Now, Tier 1 C team doesn't actually imply like Tier 1 like, overall, but you know the best teams in Southeast Asia, including Fnatic, Mineski, TNC, and the likes. Excuse me. Just gonna get some water. We're still loading in right now. I'll get rid of the background screen when the draft starts. But thanks everyone for tuning in. And after this, it's gonna be TNC versus Fnatic. That should be a close series. Now, the series, a little bit Mineski favored, gotta say, just a little bit, as they are the best team in the Southeast Asia right now, as I said before. And one of the best teams in the world, but the draft just started here, so we'll get right into it. Alright, this is gonna be, again, Epicenter XL Southeast Asian closed qualifiers Geekfam versus Mineski. This is game 1, best of 3, single elimination for their shot at this $1 million tournament. Major. Is it a major? If it's not a major, I mean the prize pool definitely shows that it's a major, and the DPC points as well. It's all about those DPC points for 1,500 DPC points. Now, Geekfam haven't even been to a LAN yet this year. Mineski have been to several. Now, look at the drafts as it starts off real quick here. Geekfam taking out Omni, Brewmaster, really focusing towards Ice in their bans right now. Whereas Mineski, they're going to ban out Geekfam signature hero Razor. Now, it's a hero that's been played by a lot of teams in Southeast Asia, but Geekfam has a certain affinity towards Razor. Well, they'll really first pick it any chance they get, running it in multiple roles, including offlane, which is something that isn't too common, and the Tiny as well. And Geekfam was one of the originators of offlane Tiny. So, looks like Mineski has done their research on Geekfam. You know, they are heavily favored to win this game, but it's not like they can just take it easy. Geekfam aren't a just throwaway team. You know, if you have an off day, you let them have their strategies. They definitely can execute. Now, their main problem is, I would say right now, is mainly their draft as well as closing out the game. They seem to have some problem closing out the game unless they just have a very comfortable strategy that they're really used to running, like their Medusa. Now, this Night Stalker ban as well is something that Geekfam has been favoring, first picking, not for support, but for offlane. They've run this offlane Night Stalker on multiple occasions, just recently against Fnatic. And every single time it seems like they come ahead of the laning stage. So Mineski again doing their research here in this game against Geekfam. Now Geekfam gonna start off with the first pick, Clockwork. Alright, that opens up a Clockwork Shadow Fiend, one of Geekfam's favorite strategies as well. Now as for Mineski, they have a weird drafting style. Right now they've been favoring Ice on some like, not to say unique heroes, but I've seen them play Enchantress and the likes, but they're gonna start off with something not completely in the meta yet, but a lot of teams are favoring her. I would say this is pretty much the meta right now. Not truly the meta, because we don't know if these heroes are OP or not. It's just what Newbie did. Now a lot of teams are picking it up, and it's that Naga Siren Disruptor combo. Now we see some teams even start with the first pick Naga, and resulting in enemy team picking Disruptor. It's what's hot right now. If you guys don't know about Naga Siren Disruptor, of course you have the Song of the Siren into the Static Storm kinetic field, in which I can just straight up win you a team fight. But one thing about Naga Siren is that it requires a level of coordination and execution that kind of needs to be perfect. If you don't really get things quite right in terms of like playing the laning stage out, getting certain ganks off, especially in the mid game, these supports can feel underwhelming. Now, as for Geekfam, Clockwork in this game is not the best pick, right? Disruptor is pretty decent against Clockwork. If he ever hooks in, he can just glimpse back out. Naga Siren also has Song of the Siren, can come in and just counter initiate against these heroes really well. And they didn't end up picking the Shadow Fiend second pick, so they're saving it potentially, or they're just not feeling it. Instead, they're going to favor the Sand King, which is probably one of the most popular offlaners right now, in the sense that he can rotate early on. Some Sand Kings even just go for like this early game build, buying like drums instead of rushing in a Blink Dagger, and just continuously fight, shove out lanes and create pressure on the map. Now Mineski gonna ban out the Tinker, again one of Geekfam's favorite for Chi-Wan. Chi-Wan, I've seen him mostly play recently. I think Tinker, Shadow Fiend, Medusa, and I think a couple of games of Puck, I believe. Now Geekfam from Malaysia do have two Filipino players. That is Skemberlu, their drafter right now, and X-Rag. Now, Play Hard used to play for the team, but he recently left due to, I don't know for what exact reasons, but he said it was like something about missing his family. He just wanted to go back to the Philippines. So they're going to replace him with X-Rag from Happy Feet. Whereas Mineski is the one team in the Southeast Asian region that has made no roster changes. They've kept with this same lineup of 5 for a while now, and I think they're gonna keep together all the way until TI 8. They're in a good position. They have some Dota Pro circuit points on the board, and I would say of all years, I think this Mineski potentially has a chance at TI, top at TI, maybe first place, I don't know, maybe top 4, but who knows. This roster is looking strong. When they get going, when they get something, a strategy that they can run well with their heroes. Jab's, of course, one of the best offlaners out of C, and the plays that he makes are insane. Did I say offlaner? 4 position. I don't know, I might have, for some reason I thought I said offlaner. I meant Ice if I were saying offlaner. But they have pretty much top tier players in every position, except Mushi. A lot of people kind of say, oh, maybe Mushi's kind of a little bit getting old, washed up. And actually what I've noticed out of Mineski is Mushi actually just casually makes bad plays sometimes. Just casually. His kick gets caught out, but I mean, Moon makes up for it. Gotta say, Moon is always on point, and for every small mistake that Mushi makes, so I don't know what Mushi's focusing on. Right? I'm not gonna play Mushi too much, but I definitely notice him get caught out of position many times. But Moon, on this Mirana. They picked this third pick Mirana for Moon, and he makes it look like an OP hero. No one else is playing Mirana like Moon does. And they have the perfect synergy with it as well, with the Naga Siren net into the arrow. They even have Song of the Siren into arrow. Naga Mirana is a very good combination. Now Geekfam gonna pick up the Vengeful Spirit for a carry position, most likely. I'm like 80% sure this will be carry Vengeful Spirit, and it's something that Mineski actually do themselves. A lot of times Mushi does go for carry Venge. I'm not sure if that was meant to be somewhat of a deny pick or what, but we'll see how this Venge works out. It also opens up, oh never mind, Medusa is banned out. As I said, Geekfam really liked the Venge Medusa, but Mineski realized, alright, this is their most comfortable strategies. We're just not giving them Medusa. I mean, even if we feel like we can deal with it, it's not worth the risk, right? Now, talking about this Underlord pick for Ice Ice Ice. It has very good synergy with the rest of their heroes. They can always glimpse back into the Pit of Malice, which is incredibly strong. They have the Root as well, so between the Naga Siren and Underlord, they have a ton of roots. I mean, it's no stun, but in terms of controlling a team fight, disabling heroes, preventing them from moving around, they have a lot of that. Now Underlord, he can do poorly against certain heroes in the laning stage, which really affects him, as he really kind of needs to have a relatively free lane. He's kind of a clunky hero, a little bit slow, bad turn rate as well, but if he can get like a couple of free lanes or free waves of experience in lane, he just starts becoming too fat to deal with. And it's just not, it's kind of like a timber saw a little bit, where it's just not really worth your time to even try to kill him anymore, because he's either going to do so much damage to you back that even if you do kill him, you're just going to end up having to either go back to base or figure out a ton of regen, or the supports show up and you all die. So that's how it feels like playing against an Underlord that's ahead. That's why it's really important for Geekfam to make sure that they do a decent job of shutting out the Underlord if they're going to lane against him. Now, a lot of other teams just decide, alright, we're just going to let Underlord do his thing. He's going to be annoying, but we're going to just put maybe Sand King versus Underlord 1v1, and they can do their thing in that lane there. I've seen it multiple times where they just go Omni Knight Underlord, go 1v1 each other, and that's pretty much guaranteeing that both heroes get very good farm, but a lot of teams will favor that and have a try versus try configuration just to shut down each other's carries or just get that lane going. It's a bit weird how things are working right now in the meta. A lot of teams favor just 1v1 for their offlane, and they'll just switch until they get that 1v1. Teams like EG from NA, they really like Sumail having that 1v1, so they literally just don't care what the lanes are. Sometimes they'll send Arteezy to the off lane. The same thing with Fnatic. Fnatic do this all the time as well. So we see what actually happens with the laning in this game. Now, looking at the last bans here, it's going to be Shadow Shaman ban for Mineski, so they do think this is a Vengeful Spirit carry. Now, the Viper is one of Chi-Wan's signature heroes. He really likes this Viper, but I'm not so sure how. Oh, hold on, they're just going to switch it up. So it will be Avenge support. Gyrocopter will be Geekfam's carry. So that's going to be Skemmerlu on the Gyrocopter. So switching it up a little bit. Again, I definitely thought the Venge was carry, but they're just not feeling it. They're not feeling it against Mineski's draft. So instead, they picked this Gyrocopter, who's not the best hero to go against the Underlord. But early on, if Gyro can get an advantage with the Vengeful Spirit as the Clockwork potentially roaming in, can be very deadly lane, which will shut out the Underlord, force him into the jungle, slow down his farm. If they decide to just run that safe lane, right? Or they just might run this aggressive lane against Mineski. Now, the Mirana, a lot of teams might run this as carry or mid, but for Mineski, I talked about Moons and Mirana. It's just on another level. Now, even without setup on his arrows, they're always on point. He seems to always get a lot of farm. And he goes for a pretty unique build. I believe he does build the Aghanim still, which we don't see too much anymore. But because he's able to progress his farm, avoid deaths a lot of times, he just kind of snowballs the game. He's a big lane pusher for Mineski as well. Now, they do have 2 in this game with the Underlord as well as the Mirana. Now, that's going to be Outworld Devourer for Mushi. Now, Mushi has played this hero in the safe lane on multiple occasions. Last time, remember that was this insane game where he won against Mega Creeps with the Meme Hammer Outworld. So that's going to be a Mushi OD, Moon on the Mirana, most likely OD in the safe lane. And the thing about OD safe lane is it's kind of clunky. It's not ideal, right? Because he kind of wants solo experience, as he's very level dependent. He really needs to have his levels up to be useful at all. But I'm feeling a Geekfam aggro try now with the fact that OD is in the game. I mean, Mineski might just try to dodge it, but we'll see how things actually play out. As to both these drafts, I do think that Geekfam's draft has what it takes to take out Mineski, but of course, don't count out their combination. I mean, they have Naga Siren, Song of the Siren, Into Static Storm, Kinetic Field, Pit of Malice, Arrow, and then an OD to secure the late game as well. As Mineski's draft isn't the best in the late game, gotta say, but I mean, with the combination of their supports and OD as well as Underlord, who can just scale into late game fairly well. Why is that so loud? Alright, hold on. Turn on the volume a little bit here. So, anyway, we're getting right into it. This is EPICENTER XL 2018. This is going to be Geekfam versus Mineski Game 1 in the Southeast Asian closed qualifier. And let's just get into the player intros here real quick. So, on the side of Geekfam, we got Skemberloo on the Gyrocopter. March, going to be taking the Sand King to the off lane. It will be a support Vengeful Spirit for Ollie, mid Viper for Chiyuan, and Roman Clockwork for X-Rag, the newest member of Geekfam. Now on the side of Mineski, we got Jabs on the support Naga Siren, Ice 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 on the Underlord off lane, Mushi going to be taking the OD to the safe lane, Ninja Boogie playing the Disruptor, as they're going to smoke up right now. And last but not least, it's going to be Moon on his signature Mirana, and they're looking for first blood here, as they're going to smoke with 3 heroes into here. Meeting Geekfam 3 versus 3 here on this top rune. We'll see if this results in a kill for Mineski. Oh, X-Rag walking right into this here, and they're gonna block him up. The arrow connects, and he will go down here with Ninja Boogie getting the first blood. Well played there for Mineski, starting off pretty well right now. That first blood advantage. Chi-Yuan grabs up both rooms, gonna TP to the mid lane. And let's see Moon's block here. I think he actually TP'd back to make sure he got a block off. It's gonna be a tri-lane mid against Chi-Yuan. This is not fun. But Jab's gonna rotate out right now, so they're gonna leave this as a 2 versus 1 right now. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Ice 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 doing Ice 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 things. His Calling Blade, he's cut himself into the trees here. Now he's gonna get a rocket tossed onto him. Rocket will connect, but won't do too much damage. He's just manning up in the lane now. Now that he has the support of Jabs, I'm gonna pile in some harass and just try to trade some damage here with Geekfam. And they do have the beefier here. So they got the double stout shield, 2 melee, and even though they're against 2 ranged heroes, kind of low damage heroes, gotta say, especially with the attribute aura even further reducing their damage. We're hitting for not not too much damage here to Ice Ice Ice. He actually managed to just straight up zone them out here a little bit with his Firestorm and jabs. Very big move here, going for this pull, and this will completely ruin the creep of Equilibrium, and they can even just farm these neutrals a little bit. And now another nicely placed Firestorm from Ice Ice Ice, and I say bottom lane going pretty well for Mineski so far, but March is having a pretty good time top here with Extract helping him out as well, as they're going to trap Mushi in the cogs. He waits inside to make sure he doesn't burn his mana walking into them, accidentally trying to escape. And because Mushi is solo, whoa, no, whoops, missed the first blood there as Jabs got chased down there by the rocket, ends up going down. I was just wondering, like, how do they leave Mushi solo here? This is not a good lane for him. He only has 4 CS. So I was talking about the OD. It's not really a hero that you can just abandon, and the supports will rotate in right now, but I guess it's better late than never, as finally Mushi will receive some support. Well, this will leave mid as a 1v1, and that will favor the Viper. Now, Ice 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 already has gone so much out of this lane that no one needs to be down here anymore. So I actually understand Mushi's choices here, or not Mushi, Mineski's choices. So they had the Disruptor mid, because if they let the Miranda just straight up 1v1 the Viper, she's going to lose. And same thing if they let Ice 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 try to 1v2 this lane, it's going to be a lot harder for him. I wouldn't say he just outright loses it, but he wouldn't get as much as he would with the Naga helping him out for like the first 2 minutes. So instead of starting 3 top, they're going to secure the other lanes first, sacrifice Mushi a little bit, and then, you know, bring the supports top. However, what I said before is it might be too late, as I feel like Sand King and Clock have gotten enough out of the lane that Mushi is just going to get pressured, and that's going to be Mushi going down there to March, and this lane is just going to get progressively harder and harder, and there's only so much that these supports can do. Now X-Rag gonna get Thunder Striked, and I'm gonna chase him away, farm his cogs, and pick up the rune potentially, but no, March is rotating in. I think they'll have to concede the rune. The stun comes in onto Jabs, March snags up the rune, and he's taking a fair bit of damage from the Thunder Strike, but he's just gonna turn around. He has a Mango stun up in 1 second. The illusions coming out from Jabs, trying to maybe disjoint the stun or something potentially, but it will not help. As March, though, he might go down to this Thunder Strike. One last auto attack from Ninja Boogie, and Ninja Boogie will secure that kill. Now Mushi, oh, had imprisonment, didn't use it to save Ninja Boogie. A little bit slow on that. Jabs will rotate in, and Mushi will come in with a counter kill there. As for the action top, I mean, not bad. Mushi's getting decent farm considering he was kind of sacrificed a little bit level 1. And I'd say I'd favor Mineski if anything. Unfortunately, March ended up going down there, and they dove deep for Jabs. Jabs. Oh, didn't I there. Oh, now he's netted up. Mushi is going for this 1-1-2 build. It's pretty common for carry ODs, and even mid ODs go for that time to time. ISSI stacking some creeps here for himself, as not quite confident laning bottom anymore. So he doesn't know where the supports are, but the supports are up top. They're going to reveal themselves under the ward right now as the smoke pops. Look at the warding here from Mineski, making sure they have control over the safe lane. As again, they will have to be here. They only sacrificed Mushi for level 1 so that they could secure mid and bottom. And it looks like Jabs will go down. Mushi manning up, but again, OD is not very good at fighting right now. He's level 5. He's dishing out some damage, but ideally he just has a lane where he can be on his own, get a ton of levels, and just start scaling with his skills. Now Moon will rotate in to secure that kill onto March, so it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. Actually, once again, favoring Mineski. They only lost both their supports there, and again, March goes down again. Now Chiwando is gonna be free farming mid, and so will Skemberlu. Now Ice trying to cut the creep wave now. He was successful with a rocket. Currently chasing him, but he'll be fine. He'll be in a very safe position, and there's going to be no chance that he'll actually go down there. So Ollie makes a rotation down to the bottom lane. He made a rotation top. Didn't really work out for the best. And now it's just going to be X-Rag and March up here again. Now, as for this laning stage, Mineski, they definitely made the right decision. And, you know, they are trading kills back and forth, but I think everything is going somewhat as planned. Now, next up for them, they're just trying to get Ninja Boogie to level 6. And that's pretty much it. I would say, you know, knocking level 6 isn't as important early on. Song is relatively long cooldown, and you're not really going to use it in the early game. You actually want to probably save it to the early mid game to maybe get a big fight off, you know, and then secure a tower afterwards or something like that. So yeah, it's a very long cooldown, 160 seconds for level 1 Song of the Siren. In the bottom lane, Moon is making rotations. Again, he doesn't want to lane against the Viper. It's not a favorable matchup. So he's been kind of like jungling a little bit, and now he's trying to make rotations. But he's going to get spotted out by Skemberlu and Ollie, and he's going to rocket chasing him all the way back into the tower. Ice will channel the Underlord ultimate out. Meanwhile, in the top lane, though, March is going to go down. Mushi is quite low, but he's has a salve. They want to chase down X-Drag here as well, but not gonna catch him. Oh, never mind. They catch him with the net, and now he'll pop the cogs out thanks to this ward here. It gets glimpsed back, doesn't go far, and gonna be the end of that. Now, again, Chiwan is able to free farm mid as Mirana doesn't want to be there. She almost ended up dying bottom, and you know, Moon is trying to just make the most out of, I want to say, a bad situation, but he's not in a good one, as he might just go down here. He leaps to the high ground, but they have the call down, and Skemberlu will secure the kill on him. So he just wants to play on this bottom side of the map, as again, he doesn't want to be mid, but unfortunately, he got spotted out there, and he will go down. So things are fairly even. Again, Mineski's next objective is to get the Disruptor to level 6. Now, if we're looking at their damage output here against Geekfam, they're a little bit lacking on this Viper. They're kind of reliant on Mushi, but Geekfam have plenty of stunts, plenty of ways to stop Mushi from auto-attacking. They have a bit of a mana burn, which is going to be annoying for him, with the clogs and things like that. However, the thing that's going for Mineski is Ice is having a very good game. His farm a lot better than March's, but other than that, they're not in the best position. Now, first of all, Moon's farm is not looking great, but he's just ganking right now. That's all he's looking to do, and he will connect an arrow there onto X-Drag, securing Mushi another kill. He's actually on a dominating streak. Now, Mushi's farm is actually not that great, but he has all these kills, which will influence his net worth. See, he is 3rd on the charts. Now, Chiwan absolutely taking over the mid lane with Tread's Aquila. Is going to start piling damage into the mid tower, slowly chipping it down. As you see, Ninja Boogie has been sitting mid for a while. Again, they're prioritizing his level 6. Oh, they're going to glimpse Chiwan back into an arrow. Mushi going to make the TP for this as well to secure the kill. That's going to be a big pick off there onto Chiwan. He thought he can just get some free damage onto the tower, but they have the rotations coming in. Ollie with an Invis rune looking to set up onto Moon. The hook shot actually hits onto a creep, which means that Moon will survive and will just continue farming. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we got Skemberlu with the rocket hitting onto Ice. He's currently sitting in the pit of malice. A firestorm gonna rain down, and he will have to back off. Otherwise, he'll take too much damage. We're gonna see a support smoke here from Ollie as well as X-Drag, immediately broken there by Moon. Now, there's also a smoke coming in for Ninja Boogie as well as Jabs as well. They have the glimpse and they have the kinetic field static storm combination, and they're going to take out Skemberlu. Very well played rotation there from Mineski, and now they have the Underlord ultimate as well to bring everybody out. They get an important pick off there onto the Gyrocopter, who has been free farming, and they get everyone out alive. Moon gonna TP immediately back to the mid lane to defend the tower, and Mushi is still farming top, has a Force Staff already built up, ready to counter that Clockwork. Now Ollie, it's level 6 now. Now support Venge is something that is in a bit of a weird position. Now I made a support Venge guide myself on Pugna, and she was actually pretty OP at a certain point. But right now she feels a little bit underwhelming as... Hold on a second there, as fight might break out here in the top lane. Mineski have this ward on the high ground, they're going to be able to see everything. March might be in trouble here. Now Moon has played so active on this Mirana, and with the kills that he's gotten, it's allowed him to keep up in net worth a little bit, but he's still very far behind. Like Ice is actually out farming him, as Ice is spending a lot more time hitting creeps. So back to the Eventual Spirit, I do feel like they meant for her to be a core position in this game, but then they just weren't feeling it, so they swapped her to support and picked the Gyrocopter instead, who was able to have a bigger impact against the Underlord. But you see Underlord is still having a free lane to take, and he just takes out the bottom tower completely by himself, and he's going to push into the tier 2 as Static Storm used for 2 kills as I was watching Ice. Skemberlu with the Pit of Malice there, and he's manning up with the call down. Who's gonna win this fight? And it looks like it might just be Skemberlu. Ice feeling confident, manning up onto the Gyrocopter, and unfortunately he might just... Yeah, he's actually just gonna outright go down. He's gonna juke into the trees. Ice. Oh, I don't know if he can get this one. He might kill Skemberlu though. Firestorm. Ice with the plays, with the all chat. He just all chats. Lol. I will be casting the TNC match later. I will indeed. I'm just warming up here. Missed too many kills this game. Feels bad. My team is scrimming right now, by the way, so I'm watching. I want to make sure I don't miss something. We were playing Clutch Gamers, if you want to know. The new Clutch Gamers. I can't tell you what they're picking, but they're looking pretty decent. I don't want to leak scrim information. Well, there's going to be a rocket flying onto Ice. That was quite a PogChamp play, gotta say. I mean, he juked Skemberlu into the trees, got out alive, and killed him. And he dodges the hook shot there, but there is more stuns coming, as that's a Sand King stun EPICENTER, and he hits him with the TT. He's not happy about that one. That's a 4-man rotation for Ice. They will secure the kill onto them, but this is space created for Moon as well as Mushi. Just level 11 now. Is had a pretty decent game so far, considering a rough early laning stage. What the heck? Alright, Chiwan TP's in mid, immediately gets glimpsed back. Now jabs with the net there onto Ollie. It's a maxed out net, very long duration. Mushi comes in, piles on the damage. Now I did say that Geekfam have a lot of ways to stop Mushi from attacking, but Mineski themselves have a lot of ways to set him up. They have a net, very long duration, lockdown. They got Static Storm, and I mean they can even net into arrow. So as long as they create the opportunities for Mushi to attack, he will be able to dish out the DPS. He did max out the Arcane Orb. Ooh, they're gonna get the glimpse onto X-Rag. He's stuck in the kinetic field as well as the net. Now the arrow comes out as well, and Mushi will secure a mega kill streak. Mineski doing a very good job of playing together, taking control of the map with these ward vision, and they just let their top tower go in the meantime. But they get 2 kills and the tower mid. Now Mushi gonna push out the bottom lane, and he's just gonna go for the blink dagger. So full mobility for him, making sure that he can follow up a potential net or arrow or something like that. March did go for the drums build I was talking about, so just favoring this early game item over the blink dagger. As if you look at Geekfam, they don't really have a hero that can follow up straight up like blink stun from the Sand King, so it's better that he just gets his farm up, gets his stat item, and it'll help out the team as well, as no one else is going for drums, I don't believe. Yeah, and it's not bad. The move speed is really nice in a team fight. But there's going to be a gank here onto Ollie. He gets glimpsed back, and I really love the Disruptor Underlord combination. It's quite deadly, as you see there, as the Pit of the Malice comes out, and the Static Storm just catches out March, and Mushi continues to get the kills. He's on unstoppable streak, imprisoned onto Ice, has Ice to save him, dodges the rocket, but now the call down going to be used, but the Force Staff from Mushi saving the day. There's a Centaur on his back, but he gets the Pit of Malice down. Now Songless Siren comes out from jabs. Are they going to set this up? Yeah, they're going to set it up into an arrow. They can cancel at the perfect time. That's going to be an arrow stun onto Skemberlu. Pit of Malice still catching out Chiwan. He's quite tanky though. Mushi taking a lot of damage from the Viper. The Glimpse going to bring Ollie back, but Chiwan stands his ground. And Viper doing the DPS. And that's going to be a lot of gold for Chiwan. They do not have the hook shot, so it looks like the rest of Mineski will get out alive. Not bad there for Geekfam. Still not good. Now Chiwan is probably their strongest hero right now, and they definitely need to play around him. Now, in terms of Geekfam, they've been a little bit scattered. Like supports have getting picked off by themselves randomly, and overall Mineski is just making the better moves across the map, and that's why they're going to secure about a 3,000 net worth advantage. However, it's nothing too significant, even though the score is 9-19 in the favor of Mineski. We can see that Geekfam aren't that far behind. They are behind, but if you look at Chiwan, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, as he's the top net worth in the game. And now Geekfam going to be realizing that they just need to play around Chiwan. He's incredibly difficult to kill, and with him shoving in the bottom lane like this, Mineski not even going to bother. They're going to leave Ice down here to delay the push, but they're just looking to make something else happen on the other side of the map. But with the blink dagger being picked up for March, he's going to be able to blink away, avoiding the gank coming out from Mineski. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Ice looks like he TP'd himself out before leaving one last firestorm. Now Mineski just looking to take control of this top side of the map and maybe secure this tier 1. They're going to scan into the trees, and they're going to ping out March. They do know that someone is there. He's going to get spotted out by the Naga illusion now, but they don't really have what it takes to dive him. That's going to be a little bit too deep there. So they're just going to pressure the tower a little bit and back off for now. As Ice actually TP'd back to the bottom lane, and he's going to shove out it. X-Rag and Ollie smoked up, looking to make a play. They see Mushi, but can they actually kill him? He blinks away, and they completely flub their initiation there. Mushi with the reaction time, and now they're going to have to back off. However, the Glimpse going to say no to that, as they will glimpse back Ollie right into an arrow, perfectly timed, and Mineski will get another kill on the board. Meanwhile, Ice still shoving out the bottom lane. He's going to get caught by the rocket, and now the call down to come out as well. There's going to be a kill top, but Ice looks like he's in a lot of trouble as the blink stun comes in from March, and there's no way he's juking it this time. He doesn't have his ultimate either, so he will go down. Same spot as last time, but this time he will fall, and it's because Skemberlu had help. He honestly had a good chance of maybe solo killing Skemberlu there again and baiting him if he was just alone, but there was 2 heroes to help out this time. And with that, it's going to be a 1-for-2 trade, I guess, or 1-for-1. As once again, Mineski lost both their supports, but the supports have been tanking the majority of the deaths. Look at the Disruptor, it's 6 kills. 6 kills on Disruptor. Only 1 below Mushi. And March getting caught out. He was a little bit slow there. There was actually a chance that he could have, like, blinked or stunned or something. He just got caught up there. Just maybe not paying attention as he was just smoke or sandstorming, trying to farm the creeps. Got caught up by the dust and the net as well. He goes down there. Now, Mineski's still with the overwhelming, map control advantage. Geekfam can't really point out particularly where they're lacking this game. Is mainly due to the fact that they just weren't in the right places at the right time. I think that's the best way to say it. As Mineski knew exactly when they would be strong and knew exactly where they would be strong, and they showed up in full force where Geekfam kind of a little scrambled, with the supports kind of walking around, getting caught out, and they did go for like some tower pushes, but during those times Mineski were splitting. They constantly kept pressure on the map, and as a result they do have a bit of a tower advantage, but not too much. They only have 1 tower ahead of Geekfam, and that tower is also relatively damaged. So in terms of towers, the game's fairly even. It's just Mineski have this advantage because of all the kills they've gone, and actually the advantage is literally all from the kills they've gone, as if you don't count that, I mean, their farm is relatively even. Now there's going to be another smoke here from Mineski. They're looking to make moves on the map. March will be the first to get caught out. He's going to get caught into the pit of malice now. Glimpse back as well. He tries to dodge the glimpse with the stun. Nice try there, but not successful in doing so. Oh, now X-Rag goes really deep here. Song of the Siren going to come out, and they're going to commit the Static Storm. Kinetic Field. Oh, Gyrocopter gets swapped out. That's huge, but he gets glimpsed back. There's the Sanity's Eclipse, and this is looking to be a full 5-man wipe for Mineski. Jabs netting up onto Chi1, and that's 5 down, only buyback on the Clockwork, and a huge team fight there for Mineski. That's the power of the Naga. The Gyro got a little bit too close, got initiated on with the Kinetic Field Static Storm, and there's nothing he can do at that point. Absolutely nothing. He won't be able to until he gets a BKB, and he did have one, but I think it was in base or something. That could have completely changed that fight, but unfortunately, it just was the bad timing for Geekfam. That's what I was talking about. It seems just like Mineski know exactly when they can fight, where they can fight, and they're always there to do it. Whereas Geekfam are not as organized. And of course, the strategy from Mineski is something they've played on multiple occasions now. I'm assuming they've practiced it numerous times in scrims. And of all teams to pull off Naga's Siren in this new meta, it would be Ninjabuki and Jabs to do it for Mineski. As their synergy has been on point. They've played around the map together, and that's the key to playing a successful Naga as well as the Disruptor. You need to make sure that your supports are working together well, and you know what you're both doing. Because a couple of flubbed fights or just like mispositions where the support gets picked off, like Naga doesn't do much on her own. In this game, is a bit of an exception because she does have some pretty good heroes to go with Naga, the OD, as well as Mirana. But, ideally, she wants her buddy, Disruptor, to follow her up with the Kinetic Field, the Static Storm, Glimpse as well. It's been huge in this game, and there's the Song of the Siren. They have the Kinetic Field Static Storm. They're going to wait for the full duration. They're going to try to time it with an arrow onto the Viper. But now, this time, there's a BKB for Skemberlu. He's manning up. He's doing so much damage. This might actually be looking good here for Geekfam. That's what I was talking about. If he had the BKB, imagine he had the BKB in the previous fight. But they're cleaning up a little bit here as Ice. Ice going to go down as well. There's 4 down for Mineski as March finishes off Moon. And that was a huge move from them there. And that's just the power of the BKB on Skemberlu. Now, that would have been the same story in the last fight if he had his BKB on him, but I believe it was on the courier, and they're gonna get Roshan added to that, and that's why you don't count out Geekfam. They sometimes make those plays. You know, it was just perfectly played from them. A bit of mistake for Mineski is they weren't respecting the Gyro's BKB, and they're gonna get punished heavily for it. However, they still are ahead in terms of net worth, and overall, they're not in an awful position after that, right? I mean, they almost got team wiped. They lose the Aegis there to Geekfam, but it still seems like they're okay. With Scamberloo, after that fight, and he's got a lot of farm out of that, and he might just be at the top once again, as he's currently 3rd on the charts, not very far behind Moon as well as Mushi. Now, I'm just going to talk about Moon a little bit. I talked about it in the drafting stage, but he always seems to get so much farm on this Mirana, and I did say he does go for the classic Aghanims build. So, he's very good at shoving out waves, creating space for his team by just pushing these creep waves in, giving his team information. Now, that was quite a gold swing there for Mineski Dota, but I don't think they're feeling too bad about it right now. But they are saying to themselves, alright, we need to slow down the game a little bit. We can't afford to fight this gyrocopter with this 9-second BKB now, and Aegis as well. Maybe if they overcommit, we'll be looking to punish them for it, but for the most part, they're going to play more reserved. As you see, they're farming the jungle a lot more, and they're playing together as 5. Make sure they don't get picked off and give anything away to Geekfam. Now, Chi-Yuan going to be pushing the bottom tower. Catapult flying in towards the Underlord. This is going to be a full 5-on-5 engagement, potentially. So, the glimpse back onto Chi-Yuan. He's going to get caught in the pit of malice. The swap does save him for now. And now, hookshot onto Moon. He has the BKB. He's going to man up. And Mushi, with the ultimate, does so much damage. What Ice brings the team away to the tier 2. What is this? Mushi puts himself in the imprisonment. He's in a lot of trouble, but the Song of Siren comes out. A big play there. They're going to stop the song as the arrow connects onto the gyrocopter. The stun comes in from March, but it's a little bit to save the gyro there, and he's gonna go down. And Mushi, he's owning on this OD, and the net gets used onto the BKB gyrocopter. No chance of escape there for Scamberloo, and that's gonna be an amazing fight there. And that was just absolutely perfectly played there, I would say, for Mineski. They needed everything to happen in that fight for it to work out the way it did. They started in the fight hot, and they didn't hesitate. Went in, blew up a couple heroes with the Sanity's Eclipse. They used Ice to bring the team out, disrupt the fight, reset it, and then they came back in with the Song of the Siren into the arrow and closed out the fight. Now they're going to take the shrine, because apparently the tier 3 fell during this time, and they're going to get a tier 2, a shrine, and now Mineski have such control over this game now, especially as there's a Hex now for Mushi. Mushi, Hex, Blink, Hurricane, and Pike. He is online, almost level 20 as well, and this is looking pretty good so far for Mineski. The score is 14-33, but I mean, Geekfam, it just doesn't feel like they can win this game, just due to skill and where the teams are both at right now. Because, you know, Chi-Yuan, he's farming well, but he hasn't had the largest impact in this game. At one point, he felt like he was the strongest hero in the game, and there was nothing that Mineski can do to shut him out, but that's just really no longer the case, and there's nothing that Geekfam did to truly prioritize that timing other than get a Roshan, but they immediately transition to taking Roche into a poor fight bottom, lose the Aegis. Now most of the advantage, if not all the advantage they've claimed in recent history, is just all gone, and Mineski have absolute control as they're gonna catch out March, and he's gonna go down, and that's Mineski staying as 5. And March is trying to do a little bit of split pushing, get surprised by the full 5-man squad of Mineski, and they're gonna push in through the top lane. Their mid lane is pushing in quite a little bit, and they're already pinging it right now as they don't want to get free damage to their tower. Or is hold on, who's pinging here actually? No, it's actually Geekfam pinging. They're looking to just camp this creep wave to see if someone's silly enough to TP back, but I don't think that's the case. No one's going to TP back here for Geekfam, and as a result, they're just going to take a tier 2 top as they pretty much know where Geekfam are positioned. They don't know for sure, but they can have a very good idea. As alright, Mineski will have the balls to actually TP someone in, and it will be their Mirana. The hookshot misses, and Geekfam gonna just escape. Oh, the glimpse brings back the gyrocopter. And a big move here. Now Gyrocopter's in a lot of trouble. He pops his BKB, but the net keeps him in place. Mushi is here with the Sans Eclipse and the Hex. The BKB gets popped out by the Gyrocopter, but he gets stuck in the kinetic field. The Static Storm as well. That's going to be 2 kills for Mineski, and immediately they're going to go top. Efficiency here as they're gonna glimpse back the Viper. That's the power of the Disruptor Underlord, and Viper was definitely not expecting that one, and they're gonna push straight into top of what I was talking about. Well coordinated plays, so smart plays here for Mineski, and now they're looking to close out this first game. What's my camera doing? It's a bit jittery, but I wouldn't be surprised if Geekfam just called GG sometime shortly here, as our racks will fall here in the mid lane and top lane as well, as none of these heroes really want to buy back. But I mean, is it a good decision to throw away all your racks as well? I'm not so sure, but that's exactly what's going to happen. That's going to be 2 set of racks down. They're looking to just take a third and close out the game. Gyrocopter is still not spawning for another 14 seconds. Same thing for the Viper, and Geekfam just getting outplayed in this game. And you know, Mineski get the flavor of the month picks in Augustine Disruptor. They execute it perfectly. They did what they needed to do in the laning stage. It was a messy lane to start off for Mushi, but didn't matter, as once the levels came up for the supports on Mineski, just felt like they gained such a big advantage, and they just kept it for the entire game. Now here's the Song of the Siren. This is very smart. This is what I like to see. The Song of the Siren, use the net to focus down the BKB target so the rest of the team can follow up. You know, you don't want to fight against Gyro and Epicenter and Clockwork, and they're going to use this song to focus down the Gyrocopter to take them out, and now it's going to be a full 5-man wipe for Mineski. They already called GG on the side of Geekfam, and so Mineski will take game 1 in a pretty dominant fashion. Looks pretty easy for them as well, and I'll see you guys all back for game 2. Well played from them there. What is going on? Thank you for casting. Got a lull in chat. So, not a bad game there. Just Mushi carry. You know, Underlord, or not Underlord, OD carry. It's not something that every team can make work. But it just seems that Mineski, they know what they're doing. You know, Mushi, I've seen him completely feed on OD. I've seen him go like 0 and 4 in lane and just get dumpster. But how Moon plays on this Mirana is incredible. He played as kind of just old, you know, mid going ganking. You know, he normally most mids now in this patch, especially if you watch like Geekfam's mid play style, is they have Chi-Wan literally just sit there as like a static hero. He's like these Medusas, these Vipers. You know, sometimes you even see him on a hero like a Razor. He just sits there, gets farm, like shoves in the tower. You know, even heroes like Shadow Fiend are doing that. Even Queen of Pains are not ganking as much unless she gets runes. But when we see coming out from Mineski, is they actually just have this Mirana straight up gank. Like Moon was level 6 and he was making rotations early on, farming the jungle and actually giving the mid lane away to Ninja Boogie to make sure he had his level 6 on time. And it was very clear that Mineski knew what they needed to focus on, and they were able to just execute the strategy, where Geekfam kind of just fell apart in a couple of those mid-game ganks, and after that, they showed that one team fight, but that was pretty much it from them. So, I'll see you guys for game 2. Just gonna take a short break here, join some scrims. How's everyone doing? You saw the ice play, the juke? Of course, can't forget about that. Oh, hold on, where's my stuff here? Gotta put my stuff on. No, there's no rip here. There's a rip gyrocopter. That's a rip gyrocopter. Where's my text? Oh, this is gonna be a 2-0. I mean, I don't think Geekfam right now, they're not looking good. Like, they took a game off Mineski in the past, but that was when they looked a lot stronger. They're kind of falling off a little bit, I gotta say. And Mineski is looking stronger than ever. That game, that was just a solid game. Rip. Guess what happened in the scrim, guys? Pretty solid, clutch gamers. Oh, this is the best music. TNC later. Woo! Okay, I'm just buying time for the Fnatic TNC game. You know? That's the real game. That is the real game. Alright, I'll be right back. See you guys for game. Alright, we're a little bit late to the draft there, but I'm back. So I'll be right back. Get some water, get some food, gotta be prepared. But this is gonna be game 2. Now, you guys think this is gonna be a 2-0? I think it's gonna be a 2-0. How much of a chance does Geekfam have here? First thing to say is they weren't very organized. They weren't making the right moves. They weren't reading Mineski at all. It was very clear what Mineski wanted to do, but they just got caught out by it, mainly the supports. So we'll see if they do better here in game 2. So they get their tiny. This time around it gets leaked through as Mineski pick up tiny. Hold on, I'm mixing it up. They get their Night Stalker, I meant. This time around they're gonna ban out the Tinker first phase, pick the tiny, and instead they're gonna ban Elder Titan and Tinker on the side of Mineski. Okay. And with the tiny as well, Mineski picked the Bane. Now, I think Tiny, one of the easiest heroes to run right now, can be played as a support, an offlaner, even carrier mid. Very versatile hero. Doesn't show up too much about your draft. There are certain heroes that are very good against Tiny, but for the most part, I mean, he's a solid addition to most lineups. Provides a lot of burst damage in the early mid game, and of course toss back potential, acting as somewhat like a bat rider. Now Geekfam, they picked their Night Stalker offlane that they've been running a lot, and look at those bans there. Marana ban. Respect to Moon, who is just dominating that hero. Let's be honest. He was always at the right position. Keep in mind, he was always there. Every time they had a net, he was there with an arrow. Every time they had a song, he was there with an arrow. Never out of position, but at the same time, still having a lot of farm. Now, looking at Geekfam's draft, Underlord is pretty good. So they're picking Underlord now for March, and it actually means it's going to be a support Night Stalker. Usually it's awfully Night Stalker, and they've done that consistently, but in this game they're like, nope, we're going to pick the offlane Underlord instead. What the heck happened? Why is everyone... Hold on. Alright, apparently Clutch Gamers is only playing one game, so we're not going to have a second game here. So, Mineski, they will pick the Sand King this time around. So it's going to be a Mineski Sand King versus Underlord. A bit of a, swap there. And again, I already talked about Sand King in the last draft, but Sand King just overall one of the most solid offlane picks. So, it actually might be support. I think it's tiny support. In my opinion, it could be tiny carry. Right now, Mineski, they have a lot of options, right? And this tiny can go anywhere. The Sand King could be support. The Sand King could go offlane. You don't quite know yet. Now, looking at the bans, they also took out the Medusa in this game. Again, it's Geekfam's preferred strategy, and they rather them just not have that. Now, what they can go for is, the OD. In the last game, OD completely dominated them. Mushi was 14-3 at the end of the last game, and they're like, alright, we saw your strategy, it seems pretty good, we're just gonna play it ourselves. Now, they couldn't get the Naga, but they almost have the same exact draft as Mineski in the last game. Are they gonna they can't get Marana as well, so they physically cannot get the same draft, but they're going to try their best. Mineski will pick a 4th pick Death Prophet here. So that's going to be their mid hero for Moon. Again, they prefer Moon mostly to be on a space creating hero. So Mushi, they actually will swap it back and forth. Sometimes, actually, the only time I see Mushi play more of a fighting carry. And by fighting carry, I mean a carry that doesn't farm too much, or is actually they do most of the damage, is Venge. He'll play Venge when they either going for like some type of pushing strat or when they pick Brood Mother. For the most part, Mushi is more so on like the hard carries, but also a hard carry that can fight. He hasn't like, he's not like a split pusher. He's like his map awareness. I feel like is one of his weaknesses. But if they are gonna just play as a team, it doesn't matter, right? I feel like if Mushi is put in a position where he's expected to like split push or like farm like super aggressive, like that's where Mineski is gonna fall apart. But if he's like on a fighting hero, they're playing as a team. I mean, that's when he performs well. Now, the last pick for Mineski will be Enchantress. So hold on a second there. Oh, what? I guess it's carry tiny for Mushi, and it's gonna be Enchantress offlane for Ice, support Sand King, and support Bane. That's what I'm predicting. Now for Geekfam, all right. I'm assuming the OD is mid, where Death Prophet does have a decent matchup. Even later on in the game, silence really hurts him, and until he gets BKB. It's going to be a bit of a problem. It will prevent him from dishing out damage. They do have a lot of control for him as well. And Enchantress, overall not bad against OD. Outranges him. Does a lot of damage as well. Pure damage. Definitely hurts him a lot. Now, what is Geekfam missing here? Alright, first of all, they need something to lane against this Enchantress. Now, most obvious options are, something like a Life Stealer or Ursa, potentially. They can just kill her with this Night Stalker Disruptor, or maybe something like a Jug wouldn't be too bad either. I think Lifestealer is the pick for sure. And oh no, they do go for the Jug. So Jug is gonna be better at split pushing, farming, split push farming, and that's pretty much it. Lifestealer, of course, would be a lot better pick if they were just willing to fight, like actually fight. But I guess that's just not what they wanted to go for. So, or was it banned out? Hold on. Can I still check without it bugging out? It's not banned out. Yeah, so I'm not so sure why they wouldn't pick the Lifestealer. Because again, Lifestealer are pretty good against Enchantress right in lane. It has the Rage. So he doesn't care too much about the Untouchable, but not like Jug doesn't care at all because he just spins on her. Like not only does he make himself magic, I mean he just spins on her and does his damage through magic. But of course the reason why I say Lifestealer is Lifestealer is pretty good against Tiny. Well, I guess Jug's pretty good against Tiny as well, head to head. So it's actually quite even there. So overall, it's okay, Jug, but I did mention it in one of my potential picks. I do think it's one of the better ones as well, because it allows him to farm fast, but also play aggressive in the early game. We'll see what build he decides to go for, as he has Arcana there, but this is game 2. What is this connection? The heck? Bugged. You say 2-1 Mineski. Is it a remake? Did they pick the wrong hero? What the heck happened? Alright, I guess we're loading back in. All pick. I don't know if there's a remake, guys, so we're loading back in. All pick. Alright. Sometimes weird stuff happens. I don't know what that was, but I have to load into this one. So just hold on for a sec. Now, I'm not sure why the remake. Was there like a bug in the lobby? Oh, they picked the wrong hero. I don't know. what exactly the reason is, but we'll see. It's gonna have to take a while for this loading. So, what do you guys think about Geekfam's chances here? I mean, of course, Mineski's the favorite. I mean, they're not only just one of the best teams in C, if not the best team in C, but they're also one of the best teams in the world right now. The world. Now, as for Geekfam's chances in this game, I'm gonna have to say that it's not the greatest. And they have this OD. Should they just kind of straight up copy? They're just copying off of Mineski's draft in the last game a little bit there. Of course, picking 3 of the same heroes. But the main thing is this, what was it? The Enchantress pick, right? Is, I'm going to say, going to give them some problems in this game. Because it's not just any Enchantress. I'm pretty sure it was Ice Ice Ice, I believe. I don't know. But, I mean, they had the Jug. That's not a true answer. You know, if you look at their supports, this Night Stalker Disruptor can't do too much to Enchantress. And overall, I would say between the team fighting from both sides, you got to give Geekfam the team fight. We can't see the heroes right now, so it's kind of weird talking about this, but of course, it had the Static Storm, the Underlord, and the Night Stalker, right? If you look at Mineski's draft, they had what, Sand King and Bane. So actually, it's about even in terms of team fighting, but Mineski's draft was more geared towards not splitting necessarily, but kind of like picking the map apart. That's what Enchantress does, right? She kind of like sits on her lane. It's really difficult to kill, like baits you into bad engagements because like she's kind of, you know, deceptively hard to kill. And we'll see how things play out. So we're still loading in here. I don't know what's taking so long here. Did it load into the wrong? Is this like a broken lobby? Hold on. We'll figure this out, guys. Is this the right one? What's the deal here? This one? This one? Help! Savannah, cast the game, please. Is like my demon picture. Like my demon picture. Hehe. Haha. Why does it say my streak is 0 on Isle? I definitely had a streak. The heck? I don't have streaks on any hero. What? 1 streak? What does that even mean? Yo, please load in. What the heck? Alright, some technical difficulties here. I don't even know, man. Alright. I'm putting the epicenter background up. I'm loading in. I'm chilling, some chill music here until this actually starts. Alright, looks like things are actually working out now. Alright. So this is going to be game 2 between Geekfam and Mineski. This is EPICENTER XL Southeast Asian closed qualifier. We're going to get right into it, as Mineski did take game 1 against the Geeks. The Geeks, all the way from Malaysia, of course, with their 2 Pinoy players, Scamberloo. But we're just going to do the player intros here. As on the side of Geekfam, we got Scamberloo, one of their 2 Filipino players, on the Juggernaut. On the off lane, it's going to be March playing Underlord. We have Ollie on the support Disruptor. Rag, X-Rag, their newest member, on the Night Stalker. And on the mid will be Chi-Yuan on Outworld Devourer. On the side of Mineski, we got Jabs playing the Sand King, Ice taking the Enchantress off lane, Mushi on the carry Tiny, Ninja Boogie on the support Bane, and Moon on Death Prophet mid. Now, in this game, again, I'm going to favor Geekfam in terms of their fighting. Because Mineski is somewhat cooldown dependent, but once Mineski have their cooldowns, if they take a fight, they really just need a couple of things to go right. It's not like they require like a perfect Fiend's Grip or anything like that, or even just a good Epicenter. Like, they just need to just take a solid fight, and they'll win them. But overall, like, Geek have better map control, taking capabilities potentially with the Night Stalker. Underlord shoves out the lanes. It's going to be fairly difficult for Mineski to take out. They do have the damage to kill him. Like, with the Enchantress. Oh, whoa. Mushi gets a toss back onto March there. He takes a ton of damage to the tower. Now he's going to be slept up. Attacked by the Bane. Sleep going to be removed by his support there, X-Drag, but March looks like he's going to be feeding first blood here as Jabs comes in with the TP. That's Ninja Boogie securing the first blood. They stop him from getting the creep wave pull off as well. It's a huge play there. Now in the mid lane, it's going to be Moon versus Chi-Yuan. Again, I'm going to favor the Death Prophet in this matchup, but this is a very big move there, shutting out the Underlord like that. Ice, he's completely farming freely now, and again, I don't think Juggernaut is the best matchup against Enchantress. Even what he's doing, next level play from Ice, he's enchanting lane creeps. I've never seen this before. What is going on? He's stacking up the creeps here onto Scamberloo. Now, this is actually sacrificing his own experiences. Instead, he's going to favor lane control, lane dominance over these CS and potentially getting first blood. Well, not first blood. It's going to be second blood. But he gets a solo kill there onto Ollie with the Aura Venom build. I'm going to take this. I'm stealing this. Oh, this courier kill. Jabs snipes the Cur. Ice also uses the creep to pull the creep. This is huge. This is why Ice is considered one of the best offlaners in the world. What just happened here? Alright, so he enchants 2 creeps, guys. He enchants 2 creeps, uses them to harass the lane down, also pushes the creep wave into the tower, uses it to kill the Disruptor because Juggernaut couldn't assist because he had to deal with creeps under tower, and then he pulls the wave back. Now he has a big wave under his tower. He's going to free farm all of this. GG. That's called next level Enchantress gameplay. As we see Jabs with an Invis rune here. And again, I'm going to favor the matchup. TP 2 OD. Not just in lane stage, but later on as well. And so far, Mineski's off to an incredible start. Oh, in the top lane, there's going to be sleep onto Rag. They follow up with a stun, the toss as well. That's going to be a kill. 3 kills on board now for Mineski. March did firestorm down the wave, and Mushi's going to miss a couple of CS, but I don't think he'll care too much about that. Oh, come on, Moon. Don't use your siphon on range creeps. Do you read the spell? Max HP as damage. Max HP as damage. You want to use it on the higher HP creeps. And you see, range creeps only have 300 HP. Now, Jabs gets a stun here onto Ollie in the bottom lane. Ice dominating his lane, even in CS, but he's gone so much. He's level 4. He's tornadoing down right now. It's pretty funny. Oh, Jabs walking through, just trying to pick up his boots. Ooh, X-Rag shows up, but it can't save Chi-Wan. Chi-Wan got solo killed 1v2. How did that happen? Was Bane there? Oh, we need a Hachi instant replay for that. What the heck happened? No, it's just an outright solo kill. Okay, back to the game. Alright, Geekfam is actually getting outplayed so hard in this game. Oh, she re-enchants the Wildkin. And now Jab's gonna come in with a stun here onto Disruptor, the Raptor, and that's gonna be another kill for Mineski. They're 5 now. Now Skemberlu might go down as well. They have the slow from the Orb of Venom, but they're not gonna dive it. They don't have the creep HP as well to tank the tower. Now Skemberlu will salve up. Moon getting harassed by X-Drag, but right now Chi-Wan is getting, let's say, dominated in the mid lane, but he's definitely at a pretty big disadvantage now after that solo kill. Now Ninja Boogie battling up with March. He's gonna get slept. He wants to pile in that damage. Oh, he's gonna eat a firestorm now. Ninja Boogie has to be careful. Oh, he's just gonna man up. Mans up onto March. Gets a solo kill on him and completely outplayed now all across the board. And he's hiding the Wildkin in the tree with the tornado from the back. And Skemberlu taking a bunch of harass here. Was flaming Roshan Courier. The tornado will expire. Skemberlu gets himself another salve, but Ice showing his dominance here in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid's going to be left to be a 1v1 as March rotates into the jungle. No longer capable of laning against Mushi. That's again Tiny, strongest laner, one of the strongest laners in the game. Now, they did draw the line there to mid, looking to gank Moon. And they will catch him out right now. And he should fall, but no, the Spirit siphons the Magic Wand as well. He's holding on to it for as long as he can. Not using the Magic Wand yet. Here comes the Silence onto the OD and the Night Stalker. He's going to turn around. Did pop the Magic Wand. Tried to turn around the kill, but they had a very nice glimpse play there onto Ninja Boogie, preventing him from turning this gank. And that could have made the big difference there. But that glimpse definitely saved that gank and allowed them to get the kill there onto Moon without losing anybody. But Ninja Boogie realizes that maybe they had vision there, and he gets a D ward. Well played from him. But Ice, and this looking like an Enchantress lane with a double catapult, takes the tower at 6 minutes in. Complete dominance in the bottom lane. Jug completely zoned out, level 4 to a level 6 Enchantress. But there's going to be a gank here onto Jabs. Ice body blocking for his friend here, and they're looking to maybe turn this around. They got the catapult. Nope, the sandstorm comes out. They do have the detection with the sentry. Ice is looking to just kill Skemberlu. They need to kill his healing ward. They get that's 75 gold, 75 bonus gold here. Ninja Boogie comes in, and ooh, they're throwing the impetus is out. That's gonna be a kill onto Skemberlu. Ollie gonna go down as well. They save Rag for later. Ice blocking him up. There's even some illusions joining the fray, but not gonna be able to get a kill onto him as well. He's a little bit too fast. March still farming in the jungle, and this is not what you like to see from an Underlord. You like to see him pressuring the tower. You like to see him aggressively shoving out the lane, but you simply can't do that against a Tiny. Now the double catapult is starting to do damage to the bottom tower. There's a big creep wave here as well. Extract will peel the creep wave back, but this tower is taking so much damage already. Now Skemberlu, he's just actually tanking the creep wave under the tower, not pulling it back further, which is allowing these catapults to continue doing damage. Now, they're going to tank the tower a little bit here for the catapults. Second catapult will expire, as he didn't choose to re-enchant it, as he doesn't want to use the mana. So he's actually a little bit low on mana, but they're going to get the tower regardless. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there's going to be another gank here onto Geekfam from Jabs, and this 2v3, it doesn't matter. The exorcism is enough to finish off 2 kills, maybe 3 kills now, as Ollie's in trouble as well. And the body block from Jabs, that's a triple kill for Moon, and completely dominating early game now for Mineski, not making good close. And this is why Mineski considered one of the best teams in the world. Now this game is looking a little bit like a mismatch, and I wouldn't say it's down to draft. It's just literally Mineski outplaying them. They didn't have the right answer to the Enchantress, and I did say Jug is not bad against Enchantress, but they didn't really have the best supporting lineup to follow. Like, let's say they had a Rubik or some long disable, it would have been fine. But they're gonna lose Jabs now, and they're also gonna lose Ninja Boogie. Chiwan gets a double kill there, not bad for him. Pretty big, but you look at Ice. This is what I was talking about. I mean, Mineski's lineup isn't necessarily like split push, right? But Ice is going to be annoying in the bottom lane. Death Prof is difficult to deal with. She's going to receive some supporting, but not like her whole team backing her up. And they're just going to take over the map. Like same thing with Tiny, right? And Tiny is not really a team fighting hero, but he's more so like, I'm going to split push. I'm going to go in there, pick off someone, and then do my thing. Whereas like Geekfam, they need everything to be on point. They need to like trap people in the kinetic field. They got the static storm out, the pit of malice, and then they need to dish out the DPS with the OD, and get a good Omni Slash as well. But Ice is going to make the rotation out of the bottom lane with the creeps. Oh, Chiwan, there's the hurling boulder, but with the TP rotations coming in, they're going to back off. So Mineski looking to do some damage here to the mid tower. Ice will have treads. No phase boots. Normally you see phase boots commonly built on Enchantress. He's going to favor the extra attack speed. Ollie coming out with the ward here. Gonna spot out Ice and Ninja Boogie. Now Ninja Boogie places ward behind the tower, and they're just gonna dominate the catapult. I mean, Ice make the rotation all the way from the bottom lane to the top lane. Ooh, Ninja Boogie spots out X-Drag now, and this supports her, and actually in a little bit of trouble. If they actually get slowed by Enchant, they would die, but unfortunately the Enchant is on cooldown. What the heck happened? Jug died in the bottom lane. They did make the TP in from Chiwan, but he's just gonna die. Here comes the impetuses, and only barely lives with the magic wand and strength treads. Now this actually might be looking... No, never mind. There's the impetuses and the blink stun from the Sand King combination, and that's going to be another 2 kills for Mineski, and March takes a ton of damage as well. Fortunately, not enough to actually take him out. But that was a huge gank there onto the Jug in the bottom lane. Unfortunately, I missed that. I was busy watching top, but Skemberlu has absolutely nothing. He has nada. And Mineski know that, and they're just pressuring the map so aggressively, realizing that Jug, and he's not going to be able to contribute at all pretty much. Now, Ice is just aggressively moving forward, and it's level 4 Disruptor. Then takes the impetus to the face, just has to back off, go back to base and heal. And they're just going to secure themselves another tier 2. Now, Mineski absolutely dominating on all sides of the map. They already have 4 towers. The mid tower is next. And Jabs, and he already has the Blink Dagger. About 12-minute Blink Dagger there for Jabs. Shiwan, he has no items. Skemberlu has no... And no one has any items. I mean, they simply are so far behind. I mean, there's a Blink on Tiny. Ice is, so tanky here with the treads and drums build along with point booster. I mean, he's going for straight Agnums. He doesn't care. He's feeling confident in this game, and you realize that he's just gonna be able to get away with this. I mean, March has no items as well. I mean, Geekfam's gonna try for something. They're gonna smoke at the 12-minute night time, but there's still no level 6 yet for the Disruptor. Still no level 6 yet for Rag, and Mineski taking no risks. They're like, there's no point to split up. I mean, That's just gonna get us picked off. They're just gonna 5-man. They're gonna go straight towards the next objective as they're so far ahead. If they're shoving down these towers, Geekfam has two options: try to mediocrely split push or try to defend, and defending isn't gonna work out as they're gonna get the Fiend's Grip there onto March. He's gonna go down before any hero can come back and save him, and they're gonna take this mid tier 1 for Mineski. And it's not like there's any split push potential for Geekfam. And how are they going to split push with an OD and a Jug with no farm? It's going to be another tower down. And they're going to look to push in towards the tier 2. And this tower will fall shortly. ISSI should actually TP's back to defend top. He's going to do a pretty decent job with that as he actually just forces Chi-Wan back. Now, a lot of time and space created for Scamberloo. And he manages to spin TP out. Thank you for the subscription, James. And if you guys are wondering, I will be casting the TNC game later. It's a bit of a warm-up game. This is not very close right now. The score is 4-15. Game 1 was a little bit closer. In this game, Mineski completely outplayed Geekfam in the laning stage. It just went down to every little thing. So every little thing that happened in the laning stage, from how the drafts lined up, even just First Blood level 1, they tried to get the creep pull off and they didn't execute it properly. Like Mineski, like they had the plan. They knew, like, all right, they're gonna try to go for the creep pull, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand the Bane under tower. We're gonna toss the Underlord back. He tanked a bunch of damage. They TP'd in jabs and they got First Blood. Then ISSI's got a solo kill bottom, and from there, like, it felt so rough. As even in the mid lane matchup, just the hero matchups alone favors a Death Prophet, and now like OD. Once the silence comes out high level, it's going to be so hard for him to play the game. Up to 6-second duration of silence until he gets a BKB. Like, he's just not going to be able to dish out DPS in a fight. And it just feels like he's worthless at this point. If you're this far behind with OD, it just doesn't feel like there's much you can do. Now, Mineski just not taking many risks. And they're 5-manning a lot, and they're just looking to secure as much objectives as I can with his advantage, and they get another tier 1 there. That's it. All tier 1s, or tier 2, I mean, all tier 1s, all tier 2s gone. And for Geekfam, their disruptor is still not level 6 because there's nowhere for him to be. If he shows up to lane, he's gonna surely die. So he's kind of just sitting around with his team. And a very, very, very sad disruptor. 15 minutes in, still no level 6. Now Geekfam, creating a little bit of pocket for themselves here to kind of farm and put some pressure in this top lane, but it doesn't look like Mineski care at all. Alright, what is this? Ice? Is this an Aghanims or is it a Dragonlance? What is it? What's it gonna be, dude? Aghanims? Dragonlance? Looks like Dragonlance first. He went for the point booster just for the stats. And this top tower is barely taking any damage at all. And there's the enchant onto Chi-Wan. He's going to start tossing the impetuses. And then the banish going to be used onto ISSI, but ISSI alone has forced Geekfam back here. And they simply can't kill him. He's way too tanky. With the point booster, the drums, as well as the power treads, there's no way he's dying. Underlord, I'm going to use the ultimate to travel to the bottom shrine. But now it's 14k net worth advantage for Mineski at the 60-minute mark. Almost 1,000 net worth advantage per minute. And look at the graphs. They're not pretty. Hold on, I missed a kill. I'm trying to open up the net worth charts here. What the heck happened? This OD just deleted from the game by Mushi. And they pulled the creeps into the jungle here and they're gonna farm it up together. It just feels like Mineski can do anything they want right now. And what they want next is Roshan. They have a solar crest and they're gonna go for it. They can even have the enchantress to tank with the untouchable, and they're gonna do just that. Alright, they're gonna get right to work on Roshan. Mushi is still farming the enemy jungle. He's gonna move through. He has the Shadow Blade building into a Silver Edge. It's gonna be huge. And Roshan should go down. Now, is there any chance? Is there any chance that Geekfam can test this? I don't think so, as it's actually Mineski looking to play aggressive, stopping any heroes from coming onto this high ground. There's going to be the epicenter of the Tiny coming in. He's taking a fair bit of damage, though, as he got caught out in the kinetic field as well as the static storm. Now, the Amish comes out, and they will take out Mushi. Bit of a misplay there by Mushi, but it doesn't seem like it matters too much, as Roshan will fall to Ice Ice Ice. He picks up the Aegis. He's the true carry of Mineski, and they're going to get the Yules onto Ollie. Spirit Siphon to slow. Kinetic Field does come out. Not going to be enough to save Moon on a dominating streak, and are they actually going to look to go high ground here? They don't have Exorcism. They don't have Mushi. I think they're just looking to pressure a little bit. Just need to wait. Chi-Yuan does have a 4-staff now, and I mean, Geekfam, what went wrong, right? What went wrong for them? I mean, just every lane lost. That's truly what went wrong. But why did it lose? It's not really the lane matchups. They just didn't prepare for them well. Top, they tried to go for a creep pull, and I already said the Underlord got tossed into the tower. Now, that put him in a bad position to contest Ice Ice Ice, as he actually made a next level play of enchanting 2 creeps in lane, shoving the lane under a tower, simultaneously getting a solo kill onto Disruptor with the 2 creeps, as well as his Orb of Venom build. And he just really understood, like before the game even started, Mineski understood exactly what they needed to do to win the laning stage, and they executed it. Whereas Geekfam, like, they didn't look too sure, you know, and like, okay, we're gonna get as much as we can at the Underlord. Underlord was so good last game for Mineski, but you know, they just didn't understand that you know what an Enchantress does. And you know, clearly the Disruptor Jug is not how you stop the Enchantress. Like, what they need to do is either secure lane. Like, if you look at the last game, right, Mineski, again, before the game even started, they knew exactly what they needed to do. They sent the Naga to the off lane to secure the first wave for Ice Ice Ice. They sent the Disruptor to mid to secure the first couple waves for their Mirana. Now, there's going to be Mushi with the typical Mushi feed, but his team will carry him, of course, as they're currently pressuring mid. Now, this is what I was talking about before. I mean, you guys might say, I'm flaming Mushi. Why are you flaming Mushi? He's a legend. But that's a Mushi play. And that's what he... Just gotta say, like, Mushi... I mean, there's a reason why he has 3 kills, 2 deaths, 2 assists. Sometimes he likes the 3-2-2 a little bit. But for the most part, Mineski carry him. As we're going to see a fight break out here. Exorcism is ending, which will heal up Moon. Ice 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 is dishing out a ton of damage. CPU's onto Skemberlu. Now the Fiend's Grip coming out. Ice 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 focused firing down Ollie first. Now the imprisonment used onto Skemberlu to save himself, or save Skem, but that means that Chuan can't save himself, as he's going to go down there. The Omni Slash used onto Ninja Boogie will secure the kill there, and they're gonna lose the Death Prophet as well. But now the Epicenter used onto Skemberlu, and they got a ward onto the high ground here, so they see everything, and Ice 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 just gonna click him down. Oh, March, where are you headed, buddy? He's gonna run right in. Oh, the heck? He stole a Clarity. Interesting. Because they dropped their Clarity to pick up the gem, by the way. That's why there's a Clarity on the ground. And Ice Ice Ice, the true carry of Mineski. Holy crap, he has an Aghanims. 20-minute Aghanims, Shreds, Dragonlance, Drums, Aegis. It's incredible. And Mushi's like, yo, thanks for carrying me. I'm just going to feed bottom. My team wins a fight 4v5, pretty much. They did lose a Death Prophet, and they did lose Ninja Boogie as well, but that's it. Look at the net worth. Still definitely in the favor of Mineski. But Geekfam stabilized the game a little bit. Just a little bit. But not Ice Ice Ice. They haven't stabilized Ice Ice Ice. I mean, he's 7-0-2. He's an Aghanims, for God's sake. And they have Exorcism again, along with the Aegis onto Ice Ice Ice. The mid tower is about half HP. Oh, they get the stun here onto Extrag. The Fiend's Grip is used just to secure the kill. And they're going to go right high ground with that. They even have a Catapult to work with here. And they're going to go for it. The Pit of Malice, the Static Storm comes out. Attack onto Ice Ice Ice. Catapult. They're going to start to do some damage here to the tier 3, but it will go down to the tower. Pit of Malice locking everyone down. They're going to hold the Exorcism for now. Ice 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 getting earned up. Still has the Nature's Attendants as well. And I'm going to take this slow. I'm going to take it steady. Now Scumberloo did go for an early game fighting build, as he kind of has to fight in this game. A Hurricane Pike, he's onto Ninja Boogie. He's going to sleep himself to avoid some of that damage. Ice Ice Ice. Zagus will expire. Epicenter used onto Chiwan. The Science stopping Ice 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 from actually doing damage with his impetus. And actually, this is looking to be a pretty good fight for Geekfam. The high ground defense, they take out Ice Ice Ice. They take out Moon as well. And it looks like Mineski kind of overextended themselves a little bit there. A silence onto Ice 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 was huge, and Enchantress is not the greatest hero at fighting on the high ground, just because, you know, it's kind of hard. He needs vision to attack from a long range, and it's hard to get vision on the enemy's high ground when they have all these tier 4s and towers and all of that providing them vision. So in addition to it being nighttime and their Night Stalker being in the game, so that's going to be 3 kills for Geekfam. They're going to push back into the mid lane. Definitely a big win for them there, and they secure themselves their first tower of the game. What the... I mean, alright, there's going to be a Fiend's Grip here on to Chiwan. He's going to go down. And, I mean, is a GG? Is this a GG? I mean, it doesn't seem like... I mean, Mineski are kind of taking this a little bit lightly. But how does Geekfam come back from a 10k net worth disadvantage with this type of pressure on them? And there's a Death Prophet ultimate again. I mean, you know, during nighttime they have a chance, but during daytime, again, they're not super cooldown dependent. But what does Night Stalker do? He doesn't have any Spirit Vessel charges left. They lose their tier 3 here, and Mineski just gonna back off. I mean, they don't want to overplay it, and they're gonna take the shrines now, and they're gonna control the map. I mean, if this goes late, how late? If this actually gets to the Jug having like 6 slots, I mean, again, I do think he's a pretty good, I don't say counter to Tiny, but he's a decent matchup against Tiny, just because Tiny's kind of low armor, and Jug does a lot of physical DPS, especially with Omni Slash, and Tiny has no way to really avoid Omni Slash. But I mean, it does get fairly tanky, a lot of HP, and eventually he will be building into armor, and he gets armor, of course, from his ultimate as well, which was a pretty big change. Now Ice 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 building into a Hurricane Pike next, and he just needs the 4-staff component. Moon pushing out the top wave, building into BKB. They realize the damage output from the OD is no joke, and they need the BKBs to survive. Mushi is going for a BKB of his own, and so is Chiwan, but he's nowhere near his. I mean, at this point, like, Geekfam just doesn't have any plays to make. As you see, they're just sitting all of their heroes in base, and I feel like they have to do this during daytime. They do have the potential to make it to night with the darkness, but there's nothing on the map for them. If you look at their vision, they don't see much. So even if they try to smoke out, like, where would they go? What would they do? Some creeps are being sent to the bottom shrine to slowly take it out. But at this point, Mineski is just setting up for their next play. They are playing together. And again, they're making sure they're not splitting up too much to open up any opportunities for Geekfam to get like a pick-off. As just one pick-off could really open up the map for them. They're making sure that they're playing safe on Mineski and not giving up anything away to Geekfam. And as a result, they're literally having to sit in base as 5 because it is daytime. And they got a Night Stalker. Next, Roshan is going to be spawning in about 40 seconds. And Mineski just absolutely farming the map. They also have a gem, so they can just remove all vision from Geekfam, not giving them anything. Now there's a couple wards for them on the map right now, as it hasn't been spotted out yet by Mineski. They're just scouting out Roshan right now, looking to make a play, as I said. As it is nighttime now, but Ollie is going to get caught out here. He was just trying to de-ward, but he's going to get caught out with the Fiend's Grip, the stun onto Skemblue. Actually, there was no damage follow-up onto their Chiwan there, but it doesn't matter, as that was all just space created, as they were actually focusing the real target there, which was Skemblue in the back with the Epicenter, and they take him out. Now they're going to push in through mid. Skemblue is actually dead for 40 seconds without buyback. And Exorcism committed. X-Drag coming in. And we're not doing much. Oh, they're going to toss the Underlord back right onto Moon. And he takes so much damage there. Immediate buyback there from March, but it's too late. The Rack's already going to fall. Chiwan slept up for a second there, but gets himself out. And now Underlord comes back in, but what can he do? Skemblue is still dead for 12 seconds. The Rax will fall. They're going to focus on the range Rax, and they're going to back it off, as Exorcism is going to expire. Now it's going to be Hurricane Pike complete for Ice, and Roshan is the next play, and it is up. And Geekfam still stuck in their base. Not much for them to do here. Gonna be a 5-man smoke rotation from Geekfam. This gets just scanned immediately. And alright, their smoke pops. They're inside the pit, but what is that gonna do? There's Epicenter online. Oh, what the heck, Japs? Blinks into nothing. This is a bit of a vision problem here, as it is nighttime. And oh, the Static Storm catches out too. The Omni Slash used onto Jabs, but he manages to get the stun away. The Fiend's Grip almost cancelled immediately. I'm not sure by what. And now Moon, though, he survives the Static Storm, comes back in. The Spirit Siphon brings him back to full HP. And now they're going to toss some impetus onto Marsh. Can he get away? He will. It's very important, as he actually doesn't have buyback. They're going to Force Staff Mushi forward. They're looking for X-Drag, but ooh, decides to miss. Oh no, there's a stun from Jabs. They will finish out the kill. That's going to be 2 kills here for Mineski. Into Roshan they go with the Solar Crest, along with Ice. And there's be no way for Geekfam to contest this. Instead, Skemblue looking to pressure the top lane. He is going to be saving for buyback. Your boy OD has buyback as well. He really needs that BKB. Jabs TPing to the top lane to defend. Just starts sandstorming. Skemblue will spin TP back home. Now Roshan will fall to Mineski, and they're just looking to close out this game. The score is 11-30, with a 20k net worth advantage there for Mineski. And they're looking to make this a quick 2-0. Quite a quick 2-0. Next up is TNC versus Fnatic. Well, Geekfam once again stuck in their base, and it is such a sad game for them. What can they actually do here? They lost every lane. They lost every tower within like the first 20 minutes. And that's pretty much it. that's the name of the game for them here. You know, their Underlord just couldn't do anything. They had no, like, their problem was there was no hero that did anything. That was the main thing. So they needed to have secure lanes. Now, if you compare, you know, last game, they picked the Vengeful Spirit, or not the Vengeful Spirit, the Mirana, that was able to actually make space for them. Now, by they, I mean Mineski, right? Because they had a very similar draft in game 1. They had the Underlord, they had the Disruptor, they had the OD. Now, OD didn't have a good time in lane, but they turned that around with solid ganks for him. but that just wasn't the case in this game. I mean, it's very hard to gank a Death Prophet, and the OD just simply doesn't do enough damage output. And if you look at their supports, it's not the greatest ganking supports, at least until the nighttime. But at that point, they had much more problems. Like Ice was just taking over the bottom lane entirely, and Jug was getting shut out. And holding on to that is going to be a team fight. The Fiend Script used there onto the Underlord, but the Imprisoned gonna save him for now. They're gonna toss the Underlord onto Night Stalker. Now the Omnislash gonna come out. Everyone's surviving for now. Finally, the first hero will fall as Extrag takes ton of damage there from the Impetus. We'll go down to Ice, but they do lose Ninja Boogie as well. Not the most important hero though, as Death Prophet still running it with that Exorcism. Now there's going to be a stun onto 2 Epicenter as well from Jabs, and this is looking to be a game. The pushback onto the OD, he drops down the Sanity's Eclipse, but not going to do much. And now Ice needs a couple of more attacks. Instead, they're going to stun with Sand King, and Mushi shows up. He's gonna toss some trees. He's gonna do his thing. This OD just gets crumbled into pieces, deleted, and that's gonna be another set of racks for Mineski. Geekfam, I mean, they're holding on to the GG call for now, as I mean, this is a single elimination. So if they lose here, yeah, that's it for them. There's no losers bracket, and their chances at Epicenter are pretty much gone. Now, there's still one chance, and that is the Epicenter Madness Open Qualifier. If you don't know what that is, it's an open qualifier open to any team in any region, but it will have to be played on EU server. And it's all best of 1, and the team that survives that gauntlet will get a direct invite. Yes, a direct invite to Epicenter. Now, the last set of racks to fall for Mineski, but Geekfam again still holding on to any hope that they have of winning this game. They're going to pop the Crimson Guard, protecting their tier 4. As asleep, the Fiend Script used onto the Jug. They're going to toss him back. Imprisonment used to save him. Ice still dishing out the damage from the backline. Omnislash used, and it's just going to bounce across multiple heroes, not really doing much. And now he's going to, oh, what the heck, Underlord Ultimate used in the middle of their base. Jab stuns, and not going to do much. GG is finally going to be called, and Mineski is going to take game 2 against Geekfam pretty easily. You know, no big deal for them here. You know, dominated the laning stage in this game. Game 1, you know, it went a little bit more even, but I mean, still wasn't too much of a challenge. So Mineski advanced to the finals, where they're going to meet either TNC or Fnatic, and we're going to find out the results of that coming up next. Wrong images. Rip Geekfam. I'm not going to Malaysia until like April, man. Plane ticket too expensive. We are chilling. I think it's in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Alright, we're out. Is it actually in 30 minutes? Or is it gonna start now? I don't know when it's scheduled. What the fuck? Alright, be back in 30 minutes apparently. Enjoy the chill music. If you stay around. If not, see you in 30. Blah.